5 friends decide to ignore the warnings about the cursed Lake Nuru and go swimming for fun. What starts as an innocent adventure quickly turns into a nightmare when one of them mysteriously vanishes beneath the dark waters. Desperate to escape, the remaining friends find themselves trapped by the lake's supernatural forces, with no way back to the village. As night falls, an ancient water spirit rises from the depths. Once upon a time, in a small village of Abo, everyone knew about Lake Nuru. The elders warned the children not to go near it, saying the water was cursed. But as time passed, many villagers stopped believing in the old stories. They thought the tales were just to scare them. One hot afternoon, 5 friends Mina, Femi, Lola, Toby and Ola decided to go to the lake. They were bored and wanted something fun to do. Let's swim in Lake Nuru, Femi suggested. Nobody goes there. It will be our secret. Mina hesitated. She remembered the stories her grandmother told her about the lake, but she didn't want to seem scared in front of her friends. Okay, she agreed, but only for a short time. The friends arrived at the lake and stood at the edge. The water looked dark and still, like it was hiding something deep inside. The last one to jump in is a chicken, Femi shouted, jumping into the water. The others laughed and followed. For a while, everything seemed fine. They splashed and played in the water, laughing and forgetting the warnings. But soon, things started to feel strange. The water felt colder, and the air became heavy. Suddenly, Femi screamed. Something touched my leg, he yelled, kicking wildly in the water. It's just a fish, Lola said, rolling her eyes. But then, Femi gasped, there's something down there. He pointed at the water, where a dark shape was moving below the surface. Panic spread through the group. They tried to swim back to shore, but the water seemed to pull them back, like invisible hands were grabbing their legs. Mina looked around, her heart racing. Femi, where's Femi? She called out, but Femi was gone. The water where he had been was now still and empty. The friends scrambled out of the lake, dripping and shaking with fear. We have to leave, Mina whispered, her voice trembling. We need to tell someone. But when they turned to run, the path they had come from was gone. The trees and bushes seemed to have moved, blocking their way back to the village. We're trapped, Lola said, her eyes wide with terror. We're trapped by the lake. Night was falling, and the air was getting colder. They huddled together, trying to stay calm. We just need to wait until morning, Ola said, though he didn't sound sure. Someone will come looking for us. But as the sun disappeared, the lake began to glow. A soft, eerie light shimmered on the water's surface, and the friends could hear faint whispers, as if the lake itself was speaking to them. What do you want? Mina shouted at the lake, her voice shaking. But the whispers only grew louder, and the water began to ripple. Suddenly, a figure rose from the water. It was tall and shadowy, with glowing eyes that stared directly at them. Leave, the figure said in a low, rumbling voice, or you will never escape. The friends froze, too terrified to move. But then, as quickly as it had appeared, the figure vanished, sinking back into the water. We have to go, Ola said, grabbing Mina's arm. We have to find a way out of here. They ran through the trees, trying to find a path back to the village. But no matter where they went, they always ended up back at the lake. The night dragged on, and the group grew weaker. Ola collapsed, too exhausted to keep moving. We can't escape, he whispered. The lake won't let us go. Mina looked at the lake, her heart heavy with fear. She thought about her grandmother's stories. The lake was cursed. It wanted something from them. Then she remembered something else her grandmother had said. The lake took, but it also gave. If they wanted to leave, they had to give the lake something in return. We need to make an offering, Mina said, her voice trembling. Something to please the lake. But what? Lola asked. What does it want? Mina looked at her friends, a cold realization sinking in. The lake had already taken Femi. Was that enough, or did it want more? As they sat in silence, the water began to ripple again. The glowing eyes appeared on the surface, watching them, waiting. Mina stood up. I'll do it, she said softly. I'll go back into the lake. No, you can't, Ola shouted, grabbing her arm. But Mina shook her head. It's the only way. Before anyone could stop her, Mina walked toward the lake. The water was cold and dark as she waded in, her heart pounding in her chest. She took a deep breath and dove under. The water was silent and still. She swam deeper, feeling the pressure on her body, pulling her down. And then, she saw a giant shadow, waiting for her in the depths. It had Femi's face, twisted in pain, reaching out for her. Mina's scream was swallowed by the water as the shadow pulled her under. On the shore, the others watched, helpless. Watch out for part 2.